Hello everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video, and I'm going to be sharing a few projects with you using new products from the Simon Says stamp and Back Again release. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use a brand new product that I designed for Simon Says stamp called the Basic Box Card Die. This is a really unique die because it allows you to make a dimensional card that then folds flat when you put it into an A2 envelope. So this is an easy mail card, but it creates a really cool and dimensional scene that somebody can display after you've sent them the card. In addition to the basic box card die, I'm also going to be using two additional dies that coordinate with this die set. These were actually designed by Christina Werner. So Christina and I collaborated in creating this collection of products for you, and I'm really excited with how they turned out. So first I'm going to show you the basic box card die. This comes as a set of 3 dies. You're going to want to snip them apart because they do come attached together. The die set includes 2 frames which can nest inside of the main die and allows you to pick a custom frame width to fit your project. So if you use the larger frame, it'll create a thinner frame, and then if you use the smaller die, it'll create a thicker frame. To start off with, you're going to want to die cut the main die twice from whatever paper you prefer. I'm using pattern paper today. The die creates 2 score lines for you, which you're going to fold on to create the nice 90-degree angles for your box. I'm going to pick out one of the frames from the die set and go ahead and attach this to my paper with a bit of tape so it doesn't shift as I run this through my die cut machine. You're going to use this frame just once on one portion of the die cut. And so you're only going to have one panel that's going to have a frame cut out of it. The rest of the sides of the box are going to be completely solid, and you're going to actually attach the insert pieces to 2 sides of the box. Before we get to attaching anything together though, I do need to fold on all those score lines. So you're going to fold down the middle section and also on the far side of the die to create the tab. The tabs are what adheres to the die cuts, and that helps form the box. So I'm going to flatten everything out so I can add a bit of adhesive onto those 2 tabs. You could use either liquid glue or double-sided tape, and I honestly prefer the double-sided tape because there's no dry time involved. And for the tape that I'm using for my project, I'm using Simon Says stamp 1/8 inch red line tape. I recommend a 1/8 inch tape if you're going to use a double-sided adhesive. You're going to remove the release paper on one of those panels and then attach the other side of the panel, not the tab, but the other side of the panel to your tab. Then the other tab will get attached to the opposite end, and that's going to form a closed box. I'm going to bring in the inserts now, and I'm going to pick one of them to create some die cut inserts that I can put inside of my box because we haven't closed the box up yet. I'm going to be using the basic box card hearts for this project to start. There are 3 dies included in this set, and you can mix and match them to create the look you're going for. Each of the inserts have tabs on either side of the finished die cut, so you'll want to make sure you fold over those edges to create the nice tabs that are going to adhere to the sides of your box. Also, don't forget to add a bit of adhesive on both tabs. To start adhering them to the insides of your box, you're going to want to remove the release paper on one side of the tabs only, not both sides. And you're going to adhere each one inside of one of the side panels of the box. You can space these out as far apart or as closely together as you'd like. It's all your personal preference. A lot of inserts can fit inside of this box, and you'll see later on as we create some additional projects how you can really create some custom looks with this. So I have 4 inserts inside of this box, and I'm going to start adhering them to the other side of my box card now. I find the best way to do this is to fold the other end of the box card and slowly pick one insert up at a time with the double-sided adhesive. So I'll remove the release paper from one piece at a time and fold the other side of the box card on top of it. And you can see how these are starting to stack up on the other side, and they're evenly spaced across the box card. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can totally adhere them however you prefer. You just want to make sure that however you adhere the inserts into your box card is that they're evenly spaced together on both sides of the box. That's going to help your box form perfectly. So once we close everything all up, we have our dimensional little scene here that you can decorate with whatever you'd like. So for this one, I added just a simple sentiment onto the front, and I added a panel of white cardstock on the back with a few glittered die cuts to create a little bit of embellishment, and that's also a space where I can write a sentiment to the recipient. So let's make another one. I wanted to use the basic box card clouds next, so I'm going to pull out the basic box card die, the basic box card clouds. I also have a die set from Simon Says Stamp that I designed called Night Sky. I have the Magic Stars die set that I'm going to pair up with that, and then some pattern paper from Echo Park, which has a really cool galaxy effect. I'm going to choose one of the frames here and then attach that along with a die onto my pattern paper. This is another way that you could die cut the box card and the frame. You could do them simultaneously together if you prefer, or you can do them one at a time. Like we did for the first card, we want to make sure that we add adhesive to the tab that's going to attach to the other side of the box card to form an entire line, and then that will be the piece that we're going to attach our inserts to. So for inserts, I've chosen a variety of pieces made from cardstock and also glitter paper. For this particular cloud frame, I actually wanted it to have a glittery finish, so I used some glitter dust from Thermoweb to add a bit of sparkle. For those that were cut with some glitter cardstock, I chose some Simon Says Stamp glitter cardstock in white. I really like how this paired together. What's fun about attaching these box card inserts onto your project is that you can switch them around. You don't have to put them all facing the same direction. You can have some along the top and some along the bottom, which creates some really nice layered effects. So play around with it as you add the inserts into your project. Create some unique looks by layering different pieces together or switching up their orientation. After I've adhered all my inserts to my box card, I'll go through and pick up each one by removing the release paper on each individual insert at a time. And I really find that this is the most effective way in attaching the box card inserts to either side of the box. So once I had my box card complete, I die cut a few embellishments to add to the inside. One of which was a moon from the Night Sky die set. I die cut that from white cardstock, and I glued that down inside of my project with some craft tacky glue from Simon Says Stamp. I also die cut some yellow stars from some sunshine cardstock, also from Simon Says Stamp, and I'll glue these down in different sections of the inserts. Some I'm going to put far back into the far back panel of my box card, and then others I'm going to layer onto the different dimensional inserts inside of the box card. So it's creating a lot of depth here. I also pulled out some of the new sequins from Simon's and Back Again release. These are the Frosty Morning sequins. I really liked how these paired up with the colors in my box card, and I'll just use a bit of clear adhesive to attach these down. For a sentiment, I pulled out the new Simon Says Stamp and Back Again sentiment strips. I'm going to use my Tim Holtz mini trimmer to help me trim these down into little strips. I wanted to spell out the sentiment, "Love you to the moon and back," but because this is a smaller card, I do need to trim these down a bit so that the sentiments aren't so long. So I'm going to snip in between the different greetings here and trim this long greeting into two pieces. I'm going to use a black Copic marker to color the edges of the cardstock, so that way this looks like this was stamped onto black cardstock instead of it being a printed white cardstock. With a bit of craft tacky glue, I'm going to adhere the sentiments along the far side of the frame on the left, and I also glued them down on an angle for a bit of movement. I think this looks really nice with the angle of the moon, and so that's going to create the nice impression of movement to this card. I love how dimensional these box cards can be, and the best part is that because this is a no bulk card and the fact that this folds completely flat, we're going to be able to put this into an A2 sized envelope and mail this with absolutely no extra postage required. So this is a lightweight card, but it creates a huge impact for the recipient. When they open up their envelope and remove the card, they're going to get this really cool dimensional scene right in front of them. It's really fun. Now we need a place to write our sentiment to the recipient, so I really like using one of the frame dies that's included in the basic box card set and die cutting a simple white panel that I can glue to the backside for a place to write my greeting. I embellished this one with a bit of stars for a fun tie-in with the rest of the card, and I just absolutely love how this turned out. It's a lot of fun. So why don't we make one more? I'm going to pull out a bit more patterned paper here. This happens to be from the Vicky Bouton Color Study pack. I'm going to use the larger panel this time to create a thinner frame. I'm going to then attach a bunch of inserts that I made from some colored cardstock. I chose 2 different colors of green, Simon Says Stamp Green Apple and also Green Leaf. So with a bit of red line tape attached to either side of my inserts, I'm going to remove the release paper on one side only and start layering these up inside of my box card. As you can see, I've changed up the orientation for some of the inserts as I've gone along through this card. And so I'm just going to carefully pick each of these up with the other side of my box card so that way I have them all evenly spaced across. I really love how these greens layered up together, and this is a really fun way to be able to stretch the cloud dies, which is what I used for the inserts on this card, and that's creating the look of greenery instead of it being clouds. So just by cutting this from a different color of cardstock, completely transformed those cloud insert dies. Now I'm going to pull out a bit of foil and do some hot foiling. I have my Gemini Junior here on the right, and I'm picking out some different colors of cardstock and foil. I was going to foil some green leaves, but then I changed my mind, and instead I'm just going to foil the flowers onto 2 different shades of yellow cardstock with gold foil. This foil plate happens to be the Sketched Rose Trio foil plate from Simon Says Stamp's previous release, which was To the Moon. I'm going to use the coordinating die, which does come with the hot foil plate, and hold that down with a bit of Easy C tape so I can run that through the die cut machine. While I was die cutting, I also die cut a bunch of the layered birdie die set from Simon Says Stamp's To the Moon release. This birdie is really cute, and I thought it would look adorable added to the front of my box card. So I used a variety of Simon cardstocks in soft navy, cream, burnt orange, and also dark chocolate. These are going to get layered up together, as you can see, to create a really nice colorful bird. This is going to get adhered down along with my flowers and also some greenery that I die cut from a Simon Says Stamp leaf die. If you're interested in any of the products that I use today on all of these cards, I do have them linked below in the video description for you to check out. So be sure to look down in the video description or over my blog for all those details. Using some of that craft tacky glue, I'm going to go ahead and start layering the flowers up along with the leaves. And as we did for all the other box cards, I'm layering pieces in different sections of the box card. So on all the different inserts, each one is getting some embellishment. So that's going to create a lot of depth to our scene. On some soft navy cardstock, I'm going to stamp a sentiment here from the new Friend Greetings stamp set. I'm going to stamp this with embossing ink and then emboss it with white embossing powder. I'll use my heat tool to set this so that I get a really nice crisp greeting on top of that cardstock. And I'll brush off any of the excess powder that got left behind from prepping the surface of my cardstock. There are no coordinating dies for this set, so I'm going to use my fine tip scissors to fussy cut that greeting out, and then I glued it along the top portion of one of the inserts. Finally, I'm going to pull out some clear sequins, and I'm going to glue these down with a bit of clear adhesive. I layered these sequins just like I did for all the other embellishments, some on the front of the card, but then also some tucked in on different inserts. And check out all that dimension looking into our scene here. It feels like a little flower garden that our bird is sitting amongst. So all of these cards utilized 3 different die sets as the main components, which was the basic box card die, the basic box card clouds, and the basic box card hearts. All of these are new dies from Simon Says Stamps and Back Again release. And then of course, all the different cards that I created from those elements, those pieces are a variety of mixed pieces. Some are new from the new release, but then others are some favorites of mine from previous collections. I really love how these cards turned out. I'm actually pretty much addicted to making these. They're a lot of fun. And I feel like you're going to have as much fun creating these cards as I did. So be sure to check out those products if you're interested. I have them linked below in the video description. Don't forget to stop by my blog for still pictures on all these cards. And I will be back very, very soon with more to share with you all. Until next time, I hope everyone has a very wonderful day. Bye!